There doesn't appear to be an end in sight for the strike action at the South African Bureau of Standards that is now approaching a week. The national leadership of Nehawu joined workers demonstrating outside the SABS headquarters in Pretoria on Friday as negotiations to end the strike continued. They've accused the entity's management of being difficult as they maintain that the demonstrations also point to a leadership crisis that they want Minister Paxdau to prioritize in his intervention.
The minister must come down and engage in an open manner that seeks to remove us from the current stalemate. Our expectation is that what the workers are demanding is not an impossible, it's not unreasonable. It is affordable. They can give the workers what they are demanding. The question of harmonizing the structure itself should not be a quagmire to the management. The minister should be able to reign supreme over the institution here and direct the institution to resolve the matters.
The entity has been operating with an acting CEO for 4 years and has seen board members resign. The acting CEO says the restructuring process was also meant to bring stability to the company, even at executive level. The executive has been accused of embarking on this process in bad faith and of using the process to convert their contracts to permanent at executive level.
There's nothing that they provided to then say this was legally or it was illegal for the way that it was done. It was approved and then implemented. Yes, there is no permanent CEO and the board has been going through that process, and I believe that is at an advanced stage. The Standard Act 16.1 refers that the appointment of the CEO must be done in concurrence with the minister.
The negotiations have seen various scenarios explored, with the workers saying that the strike continues next week as the parties have failed to find each other.
Where we are, there is even contestation around the information, the financial information they've gave us in terms of their own proposals that they've made. So the discussions where they are is for them to find the money, and we are willing to make concession there and there so that we find each other in the middle of the ground.
They've raised issues with the cost of living, saying changes to the payment structure are likely to push many of the workers into poverty.
We're very devastated at this moment because we have been on the streets for 5 days thinking that the management inside will take us serious, but then it seems like we don't matter to them.
We had thought that this strike would last maybe 2 days, hoping that leadership cares, but unfortunately we're dealing with a leadership that is very delusional.
The South African Bureau of Standards works with various laboratories across the country in, amongst others, the testing of food items on standards and certifications, with operations at the SABS branches across the country also affected by the strike action. Nehawu has since written to all entities operating under the DTIC to also join in as they plan a secondary strike at the SABS, with a march planned to the office of the minister on the 8th of August. The SABS management says operations continue at the entity on contingency going into the weekend, with Nehawu vowing to be back in the streets in the coming week as they await feedback from the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition on interventions. Katlego Logodi, SABC News in Pretoria.